Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 2 of this NHL 25 Nashville Predators franchise mode. Today we're going to be getting through the 2024-25 season, so the first season of this save, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit notifications, do all those things. It really helps out the channel as we are trying to still grow the channel. So let's get to the comments here first as we begin this episode. There was quite a few from the last video, which is great. That's exactly what we want to be seeing, is just some type of feedback from all you guys. So first things first, the Real Divinity said, glad to see you and GM Nigel back in action. This is going to be a great series. I see that you are still using the wheel as well, one of the additions from the Newfoundland Growlers franchise. I'm going to enjoy this, and I hope everybody else does too. Again, welcome back, Etanyos. The road to Lord Stanley is underway, so fabulous comment. Great support from the Real Divinity there. Of course, one of the biggest supporters on the channel if you guys have been watching for a while. Max Williams said, happy to see you back. So again, just lots of love. Appreciate you guys. Braden Cream with a nice insightful comment here saying, I think you should keep the team how it is for Season 1. Maybe don't make any huge changes, but maybe tank for Gavin McKenna in 2026. So that is one of the first things I'm going to add to the spreadsheet for goals or team needs, is we're going to go Gavin McKenna 2026 tank. So we're going to give that a try, see if we can maybe pull that off, because I think that would be a good idea. Secondly here, from Buffy Bondy said, Parsons is actually a New York Rangers player now, which, I mean, sad, because I think he's actually a pretty decent playmaker and one of the few big-size playmakers that probably would be quite useful on a cup contender. Maybe he's somebody we go and get back eventually, but I think what we're going to do just to improve his tradability aspect is we're just going to go and offer him a new contract there, and then what we'll do is we'll immediately trade him from here. So we'll get to that in a second. Finally, last comment here from Max Williams says, Zachary Leroux is the GOAT. So yes, of course, we have to make a roster spot for Leroux because he's going to go take someone's head off, which is exactly what we're aiming for, more or less. So yeah, maybe let's play Michael McCarron here at this bottom spot. Again, big grinder. He's huge, 6'6", 232. But yeah, really besides that, this team doesn't have a ton of talent. Like, they've got some decent players, but really I do think, I don't know if it's going to be a fire sale necessarily, but there is going to be some player movement here within the next year or maybe two, just to see how we can kind of reshape this Nashville team. We will probably do some other like accurate trades as far as like maybe moving a Luke Schenn at the deadline, something like that. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, because it is really just going to be up in the air for now. We're just going to really try to sim through the season for the most part, but let's go make that one Parsonen trade, and then we will go and explore one other thing about this team here just before we get to it. But the first thing I'm going to do here is just try to scout like the top 5-ish players or so. It looks like we don't have a lot of US Central scouts, so that is a little bit rough. But again, we're playing this based on one, team needs, but also just the factors of draftabilities, things teams have to deal with, like, you know, not being able to scout certain regions well. Maybe the U.S. is one of those. Like, we can't really take a look at Hensler or Eklund because, you know, Allsvenskan and U.S. Central are severely lacking. This guy, Steven Ruedel, I have no idea who he is, so maybe he turns into something. I know Kurtz is going to be good just because I recognize him from being in one of the other roster spots. But yeah, we're really not going to do a whole lot with the draft overall here. Like, we will try to go get a steal. Why is it not opening up this Fiddler card? Like, what? Hold on, what is going on? Oh no, that's Blake Fiddler. Okay, so I'm like, why is this pulling up a player with a face? Because Blake Fiddler's a real player. I'm just not recognizing him. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. But yeah, obviously Ravensburgen would be a huge pickup for us. That's kind of one of the few guys I would love to get. I mean, if we manage to get a few second-round picks here in this first year, I think that's actually going to be a good thing, because there are a lot of decent potential players that we could build out a lot more depth with on this team in the future. But yeah, that's something to explore. So now that that's done, let's go find a trade for none other than Juuse Parssinen. I assume it's going to be a lot of picks, yeah. 4th rounders, 5th rounders, not a lot. If we can get a 3rd, I'll call that a win. Not looking particularly promising here. Somebody hit me with the 3rd, just anybody. Nothing? Okay, Juuse Parssinen straight across for a 4th round pick to the New York Islanders. And of course, we are now below the roster limit. Okay, so nothing particularly special there with that trade, but just something we had to do. Now that we're done that, we can go make the one other move I would like to make here before we start the season, being a contract extension for Luke Evangelista. And where is he? There he is. All right, so Evangelista, let's see, 3 years, $2.5 million. That's a great deal. He wants $5 million for the 8-year long term. I think we're gonna stick with we'll stick with the 3-year. 2.5. We'll probably even go, 2.5's fine. Okay, so we'll offer that. I expected him to accept that right away, which he does. Okay, so really, honestly, a great little option there for the next 3 years with Evangelista. But let's simulate to the regular season now at this point. And Nigel's going back. Oh my goodness. Goofballs. Okay. So, Andrew Burnett, how you doing? We're going to try to get you to keep your job. That is kind of the biggest thing. What's your thoughts on the roster? We should compete for a playoff spot? Sure, let's try that. And that's all we're going to try. We're not going to set a preseason goal because, again, this Nashville team drastically underperformed based on age and many other things. But we are going to just ignore that for now and see if maybe the NHL or EA Sports NHL 25 will rescript this to be a completely different universe. We'll see. That's the fun and joy of this. But obviously, it would be fun to tank in year 2, just trade a bunch of pieces. Maybe not right at the start of the year, but maybe in the off season or something. So yeah, that's something we'll explore. I'm not really going to do too much with the lines year 1 here. We're just going to kind of sim it and see, like kind of just hands-off approach to it and hope that, either we're in a spot for like a lottery position or that something goes our way. But we will definitely jump in at the trade deadline too and just see what we can make work. But yeah, let's sim up to our first game here. And, of course, it'll be the Dallas Stars. So, here is the look at our team. Probably can't see it behind my face cam. So, let me go move that for you nice and quick. Where is it? There it is. Okay, 84 offense, 85 defense, and 87 goaltending. So, definitely a defensive team here in Nashville. But something that, maybe we'll see some improvements on here pretty quickly. I get the feeling we can turn this team around within the span of probably about 5 seasons or so, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, so I'll probably jump in every now and then on the season sim, but we're really not going to do too much as far as highlighting it. We're just kind of going to sit back, let it play for season 1 here, and then go into all the off-season stuff, but I guess we can go month by month, but we did start off with a win. Yeesh. Okay, so we just lost Saros and Josi to injury, and now Tommy Novak too. Oh man, okay, so month 1 goes actually kind of accurate to how the Predators' first month goes. We're third last in the league after month 1, so yeah, kind of accurate. Okay guys, so for the month of November we started off 2-6-2. We are now 8-14-3, meaning we went 6-8-1. Not good. Still not good. At one point we were 2-8-1, so I think we won 3 or 4 games in a row. But yeah, we're definitely bottom of the Central. And not that the Central's a slouch of a division. There's a lot of decent teams, but we're behind teams like Chicago right now, that's pretty sad. So in December, guys, we go 7-5-1, so a little bit better. We're starting to, climb back up the standings. We've passed St. Louis at this point, but other teams like Minnesota and Chicago are still, a decent ways ahead of us. And yeah, we are still very much towards the bottom of the league with that record, but it happens. It's exactly what we were expecting really from this team. If this team was worse, I would maybe be looking to fire sale a little bit more, but 43 points from Marchessault actually is pretty darn solid. Like, he's scoring at a decent pace overall. I actually find that really funny and a little bit hard to believe, actually, that Jonathan Marchessault is 43 points right now. I guess Stamkos is at a point per game as well, and so is Filip Forsberg. So really, our top line is kind of the only line playing. Roman Josi is 17 and 26, so nothing special. Yeah, this team is just, a big compilation of a whole bunch of players that have come from different teams that not didn't want them, but just they didn't really make a lot of sense on. And coming to Nashville, it's like, oh, we can have this identity as this team that has all the, not like unwanted players necessarily, but has all these extra and like different guys and things like that. And it's like, well, yeah, but you kind of want to form like, a skill identity or a size identity or a defensive identity or something like that. Like, I guess maybe Nashville's team identity is like a defensive identity, but like really overall it's hard to kind of put a finger on what the Predators are trying to do. So I think that's one of the biggest things we're going to be exploring, is trying to just put a little more direction on this team as to, okay, we're bad now, but if we build these pieces in here and here over the next couple of years, like how do they change and affect the team? So yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out, but let's get back to the calendar. Okay, so we have a 500 record in January, so not terrible. Looks like the trade deadline's March 8th. Okay, so I don't think we're really going to make any trades, but this team is bottom 5 in the league. Looks like Calgary, Seattle, and LA are all just terrible right now, which kind of inaccurate, but that's is what it is. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because if at the draft or something like that we go and get a guy like Ravensburgen or somebody else that's like, again, going to be a very near future goalie, maybe then we part ways with a Juuse Saros for a year or two and see if we can really just tank it out and bottom it out, because yeah, nobody tanks according to Gary Bettman, but yeah. Okay, so it looks like we go 2-6 in February with the All-Star break or the Four Nations break, whatever you want to call it, in between there. And now we really are a bottom 3 team in the league at this point. So don't get me wrong, I would love to trade all these pieces and get additional picks and all these other things, but like, we're already going to have a very top-end pick at the draft. I know the pick positioning isn't showing it right now. Like, I don't know why it's pinning top 10 players, but if you go and look at the actual standings itself, 24 and 37 is a terrible record. Like, we are very literally bottom 3 in the league. It's literally just Calgary and LA. That's it. Like, those are the only teams worse than us right now. So yeah, again, dark times in Nashville, but we got to get through them somehow. So let's go get some very top-end players from the draft. That is the goal here. So, yeah, let's continue on. And all right, we're just gonna keep our current trade status. And as much as I would love to, well, actually, we can jump in here. We're gonna trade like Luke Schenn. I think is the one guy that we can actually accurately trade here. But yeah, other than that, everybody else is kind of just not really an option. So we're holding on to all our prospects and like younger players and pieces like that. And let's see, defenseman Luke Schenn. what's available on the market. Yeah, Fabry in a 5th. That's not actually the worst deal I've seen. Mantha and Barry. We could get Tyson Barry back, even though that was very obviously not a good fit. Antonio Strange is a high 9. That's crazy. We could go get Matt Rempe. That would be fun. Adam Sikora's not a bad option either, if I'm being completely honest. Or Xavier Bourgault, but Bourgault's not very good. As much as I would love to go 1-for-1 straight across and get a different D-man just to fill this spot, I don't think we can. Yanni Nyman is an interesting option too. And I think we could go to Winnipeg for the 5th and 7th. I think that would actually be the most accurate trade. But yeah, I didn't really see too much else. Obviously, I'd love a 3rd round pick for him. That'd be great rather than a 5 and 7. But yeah, 5 and 7 is just a bit of an underpayment for Schenn, if I'm being honest. Like, I know we can get a 3rd. So yeah, let's go get a 3rd from the Calgary Flames. Why not? They're also terrible, so this pick will... Oh, actually, that's Vancouver's pick, so that's why. But yeah, we'll go make this trade too. Okay, so we get 2 4th-round picks for 2 players. Oh, I guess there's William Duer in here as well, is how you say his name. I think. I might be wrong. William Duer. Duer? Or, sorry, Walker, not William. My apologies, Walker. I didn't even know your first name. Okay, so we'll make that trade. I genuinely don't think we can move a good, 80% of our top end of the roster. Okay, so Brady Skjei's got a modified no trade. So we could get a whole bunch of seconds and stuff for him, but that's because he's got such a big contract left. Yeah, none of those are really quite worth it. And yeah, we literally can't. You can see which players we can actually add to the trade block and which ones we can't, because add asset either pops up or it doesn't. So it's literally Skjei and O'Reilly, and then everybody else is just not available. Ooh, Jackson Blake and a 1st. That would be nice. And looks like it's mostly Carolina that can handle him. Rangers could give us a 1st. Or Jets could go 1st and 2nd. Yeah, we're going to pass on all that. But yeah, we will probably end up making some fancy trades here at some point, but just not right now. So yeah, give it a season or 2, and then we'll start to make some moves and move some pieces around and get this team a little bit younger. Not guaranteed saying that we're going to trade every single player or anything like that. Obviously, it's going to be literally impossible to trade Marchessault and Josi and Stamkos and Filip Forsberg. Like, there's guys that just we cannot move, and that's as simple as it is. But if the team around them's bad enough, then maybe they'll just keep losing. So, yeah, a little unfortunate that that's probably going to be the way it plays out, but got to do what you got to do. So we go 8-7-1 in March. So actually not a terrible record, but if you look at where we're sitting, 67 points. The Blackhawks have trended way down the standings, but yeah, we'll finish off this last little stretch of the season and then wrap up from there, because I think we're going to have a bottom, I don't know if it'll be bottom 5, but it'll definitely be bottom 10 pick, because we're sitting at 69 points, maybe 70 now. So yeah, we probably won't quite get a bottom 5 pick, but you never know. The lottery might treat us kindly too in Nashville. Who knows? So yeah, Skjei's out with 4 games left. That's pretty rough. And okay, maybe we will end up, yeah, who knows? 71 points is still enough to not quite be a bottom 5 team. And we're just picking up single points here and there. We'll probably beat Dallas to end off the season. And yep, there it is, overtime win. So, all right, we finished with 73 points, a 33-42-7 record. Probably one of the most abysmal seasons I've seen from a team that already looked questionable. So yeah, definitely did not make the playoffs there by any means. We were, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3 technically, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're like 7th worst team in the league probably, give or take. But Forsberg's at least over a point per game. Stamkos is close, but not quite there. And the best team in the league, probably the Colorado Avalanche. Oh, tied with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, Tampa could actually just solely win the President's Trophy here. Hold on, we got to take an extra day or two here to advance. And why is Brady Skjei coming back now? And are we done? Oh my god, 145 point season for Nikita Kucherov. That is absolutely insane. And all right, McKinnon with 139, Point with 133, McDavid kind of more human with 118 points. Those are just some insanely good scoring numbers. So yeah, let's take a look at the team standings here quickly. Obviously, we finish second last in our division, ahead of the Blackhawks. Tampa does indeed win the President's Trophy, and Toronto misses the playoffs with 90 points. Oh, that's actually kind of hilarious. We finished 26th in the league, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th worst in the league. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. Okay. And as far as our point totals and scores go, yeah, Forsberg is our best player. Not really much of an argument there when he's 30 and just putting up point per game kind of pace. Here's a look at all of our forwards. So some okay scoring, a lot of below average scores for the most part. That's just a good chunk of our team. Josi scores 53 points in 70 games. He missed 12 games with injury this year, so that's not ideal. Again, he is 34, so definitely some age starting to get up there, kind of creep in with him. Obviously, he has won on Norris in the past, but I just don't really see him ever quite getting back to that pace that season. He was on a 65-point season, too, that he wanted, so nothing really super special. I should probably turn my phone notifications off. That might be a good idea for while I'm in the middle of a recording. But yeah, anyways, that was our defense. Not very good. And then ready for the goaltending? Saros posts a 911. Are you kidding me? A .911 save percentage from a goalie that really just was the only maybe slightly shining spot on our team. It's a different Matt Murray. That's funny. All right. Well, that's the stats for the year. Let's go take a look at our overall league here. 48 wins for Andrei Vasilevsky, 47 wins. So the goalie win record gets broken twice here by 2 goalies. That's completely inaccurate, but okay then. Just ridiculously good save percentages and shutouts and stuff like that too. Like that is questionable to say the least. How did Logan Thompson have 7 shutouts and 30 wins? Are you kidding me? Jeez. Cale Makar posts 91 points. Probably actually accurate. Adam Fox 84. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Makar's pretty sick. Morrissey's also having a huge year. Victor Hedman crushes it in Tampa still too. Is Dahlin a franchise D-man? No, he's only high elite. Okay, well, that kind of makes sense. And then best rookie skater is, go figure, Macklin Celebrini, putting up 71 points. That is an absolutely sweet season. 54 from Michkov, so nothing insane, but still very good. And then, of course, Nikita Kucherov just went nuclear. 145 points. Are you kidding me? Like, that is so crazy good. I just don't have any other words for that. That was just so good. All right, most assists goes to Braden Point with 82, beating out McKinnon by a single assist. How about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scoring 105 points as well as 74 assists? That's crazy. Most goals goes to Nikita Kucherov, go figure. Also some other usual suspects there. Gotta love the smile on Kaprizov's mugshot there. It's actually a pretty good little picture. So, all right, there you have it. That's the season. So, with that being the case here now, with the season being wrapped up, I need you guys to, well, I guess we'll go up to the lottery. We'll finish off this episode with the draft lottery since we have a top 7 odds, as well as I'm going to have to check who else's picks we have. I think we have Tampa's, but then besides that, I'm going to have to look. Vegas is too, yes, okay. So I would assume the Golden Knights, yeah, they're in a playoff spot. So no lotteries for any other teams besides us. So we will advance onward and live with it. So looks like the AHL finished up there. I do just need to claim all the AHL stats. Okay, maybe the AHL stats aren't quite done yet, and that is okay. We'll advance one day. Yeesh, that took forever to advance one day. And we got to advance another day, because some teams still aren't done. Okay, then. Yeesh. Well, Svechnikov's got a player profile picture. That's kind of cool. Gotta like that. You know, for a 19th overall pick, actually making it into the game with his face at 22 years old. That's solid. We'll take it. Oy, oy, oy. Can't say I was really paying attention to the AHL, if I'm being completely honest, but a 39-point season from Joakim Kemell is probably not good enough. We very well might be trading away like every single piece this team has, if I'm being honest. It's looking pretty bleak right now in Nashville. Wow. Avs and Rangers final. I don't think that's happening this year. But you never know. And Colorado and Rockford are your champions this year. Okay, then. And let's finish up right there. Go take a peek at the awards, and then go to the draft from there. So yeah, Forsberg had a great year, obviously. Colorado wins the Cup, Tampa with the Presidents, Colorado with the Clarence, and the Rangers with the Prince of Wales, sorry. Kucherov wins back-to-back Art Rosses. That's crazy. He also wins the Hart Trophy. Makar wins the Norris. McKenna with Lady Byng. Celebrating, go figure, with the Calder. McKinnon wins the Conn Smythe. Vasilevsky gets the Vezina, as well as the Jennings. Hampus Lindholm with the Masterton. Bruce Cassidy with the Jack Adams. Andrei Kopitar with the Selke. Kucherov with the Lindsay. And the Rocket. Wow, Kucherov cleaned up this year in awards. Did anybody besides like Demidov and Gushchin win much? Not really. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that is it for the playoffs. Here's the look at, or that is it for the awards. Here's a look at the playoffs. Yeah, it's okay. Nothing crazy. Actually, did our team make it in? Yeah, Milwaukee made it in and got swept by the eventual champs. So that makes total sense, actually. And then, yeah, Colorado goes all the way, winning it in what was overall pretty tough playoffs. They had an additional 8 games in there besides all the winning ones, so not crazy difficult, but tough enough for sure. Let's go take a peek at the progress reports at this point, because this is usually when some stats kind of start to kick in. So it looks like Josi maybe somehow got better, which doesn't really make sense, but Kemell sees the most growth. LaRue would, okay, as long as we're getting growth out of some of those guys, then there's like a glimmer of hope. Viggo Gustafsson, not somebody I expected, but yeah, we'll take it. Teddy Stiga with a bit of growth. That's solid. Svechkov with some growth. Yeah, okay. So we are seeing some growth from certain players in certain areas. Jakub Malota actually looks somewhat decent too for a 4th round goalie, so maybe he's our backup goalie of the future. So yeah, something to keep an eye on there. So that's solid. We'll take that. And all right, let's go up to the 17th, 18th, somewhere in there. And one more day, 2 more days, somewhere in there. Let's see. And retirements there. So yeah, draft lottery's got to be on the 20th. And we move up to 2. Let's go 7-2. That is a huge jump. Obviously, we don't win the James Hagens sweepstakes, but we do win a very, very good pick in an already decent draft lottery. So yeah, pick 7-2, that is huge. I could not have predicted that. This is literally a one-time sim. I'm not trying to cheese anything with this series, guys. We are literally playing this out one take all the way through, as long as I remember to turn on all my recording software and everything properly. But wow, what a start. 7-2. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And then we fail a goal right after. But who cares? We got pick number 2 in the draft. I think this is the highest the Nashville Predators have ever drafted. Let me go double check that quickly. Finley at 6. Oh, no, David Legwand in the first year. So since the conception of the Nashville Predators, this will be tied for the highest selection that they ever make, so far at least. They've never had a number 1 pick. But hey, number 2 is pretty darn good as well. We'll take a number 2 all day. So let's advance a little bit further here, but this is pretty much where we're going to wrap it up here at this point, guys. Really, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. Do we take DeSantis because he's the second highest rated player in this draft and scored 99 points? Like, he might be the second highest rated player. We actually don't know, but do we really want a 5'9" winger? Or do we want a 6'3" Matthew Schaefer instead? Like, there are options here with this pick. We could also take a Porter Marchessault. That would be another hugely Nashville-styled type of player, and 131 points from him is pretty sweet. Although, what did Schaefer score? 73. So 73 solid. It's not 130. It's not almost 2 points per game, but it's still pretty good. Michael Misa was solid, 112 points too. Martone crushed it, though. That's the thing, is that he scored so much. James Hagens actually only scored 93 points, so maybe Joshua DeSantis is a decent option. But again, you guys got to let me know who are we taking. That is the number 1 question here. Who do we draft with the number 2 overall pick? You let me know. We'll make the selection. Leave it in the comments below. But besides that, we have some other options to play around with here too, because we have a couple late round picks. Looks like they're all between, maybe 25 and 29, somewhere in that range. So we could potentially try to trade up and grab a right winger like Steven Ruedel. I would love to get a guy with this build and speed. Again, it's skating, magic hands, elite speed. That's exactly what you want in a right winger. Or we look at Andreas Kurtz too. There's loads of options, so you guys let me know which players are we going to acquire at the draft. Who are we going to draft? We need to figure out the first round at least, probably our first 3 picks. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot. I would love to get Joshua Ravensbergen, so maybe we keep a late round first round pick for that, even though that would be a little off the board with him at 40. But hey, a first round goalie could possibly be the play here too, with an elite goalie like that. So yeah, we'll have to kind of just play it out here and see how it goes. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments. We won the draft lottery, which is all that our goal was here for this episode and this season, and we got it done. So that is absolutely massive for us. Love to see that. So yeah, just fabulous. Can't really make that up. So yeah. Oh man, I'm a little jittery about it. That's an awesome way to kind of conclude this video. So let me know in the comments below, guys. Who are we drafting? What are we doing? All that good stuff. And yeah, it's gonna be, we should be able to get some decent players, guys like Leclerc. I don't know, maybe. Is there a couple Grivas in here? These guys are. Yeah, that could be fun. Get the Griva brothers. Something to consider, maybe. Again, they look like almost like the German version of the Sedins, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's an option. Something we can explore. And there's loads of other players too. So we will have a good draft. I think regardless now at this point, but especially if we can maybe see a little, extra trade up and things like that. But let's get past retirement here, see who actually calls it a quit for their careers, and not a lot. Cal Clutterbuck, Leo Komarov, Brad Hunt, actually. The fact that he played NHL games is crazy, but yeah, that's, it happens sometimes. Jordan Schroeder, again, just nobody really too crazy. Patrick Thorson, that is a beard on a man. Wow, that is great beard on Thorson. And then we're going to see Hutchinson, Jonas Enroth, and Yoni Orchio call it quits there for the goalie. So that is, I think that's the last step here before the other, whoever else is becoming coaches and things like that and whatnot. But yeah, we're just gonna advance right up to, we could do draft interviews to start this upcoming season, but we'll have to wait and see. And then there's again always the option to potentially make a trade. So we'll have to wait and see. It's gonna be a fun episode coming up. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. We've got obviously a Saros extension in place, so he's super valuable. But there's tons of options and ways to play around and move players with this team, besides, of course, these top four that all have no move clauses, and then everybody else below that. So let me know what the moves are. You guys are making the calls. This is your series, and I'm just sitting here playing it and enjoying it. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, of course, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit notifications to show your support, and of course, leave comments to help us make the decisions for next episode. But that is it for me. This is Etanyos signing out, and until next time.